Hi everyone, I'm back. It's a rainy Sunday morning, but I'm alive, well, happy to have the things that I do have, and it's a very blessed day, and I hope you all are having a great weekend. Today I'm going to talk about stand up for yourself, okay? Because a lot of us, we struggle with that because we're told that we can't. It's like, no, use your discernment on how to stand up. It's not about belittling people or what have you. Yourself and what you know is right for you and what is just. Um, when I was younger, I used to stand up for myself and I'd stand up for others. But then life happened more and more. And it was like I lost that, especially after my car accident. I really lost it because I wasn't well. But thankfully, Spirit pushed me and pushed me and pushed me, and then finally said, "Okay, you got to let go." Okay, and I'm going to read a poem I wrote years ago because my mom, she had a mild heart attack, but now I know why I really wrote the poem because it was just a couple of years before. It was like in 97, 98 that I wrote the poem with regards to when my mom had the heart attack. And about a year, 2 years later is when I wrote my life poem. I wrote because it was on a moonlit night for me. Okay, the night that I died, and in 90, where's the I have over the mountain. I went back to continuing education, like to get my upgrading back years ago, and I'm trying to find the the copyright. They started this book in 94, but I believe it was like 97 when I went and did it. It was everybody got to submit something, and certain people got picked, and it got put in this poem storybook, what have you. This is the title, On a Moonlit Night. On a moonlit night, under the stars, they were so very bright. I sat, I heard a sound. It was a man, his voice so soft and sweet. His voice was calling to me to let me know that everything would be all right. I looked to the stars. Once more I knew, somebody's crying. It was time to let go. I felt in my heart a pain. I knew that I had to let go, for he was calling me so. On a moonlit night, I got too weak. My words went silent and very low. But before I left, I told him I love you so. So that was like when I left, and then when I come back, I had to come back and say I love you. So I come back loving me and loving Spirit. We go through things and it makes us weak, and then we think that we can't stand up for ourselves, that we need someone to stand up for us when we're actually capable of it. Just if we stand up for ourselves, people tell you, "Oh, you overreacted," or they victimized you, and because you stood up for yourself, they portrayed themselves to be the victim. Like, before I get started, I'm going to read from my cards because I do, and then I actually read my description for my YouTube channel because it's spirit teachings going within, and you really never know what you're going to get on the channel. Okay, I could be coming off as like a real bitch, or I could be coming off as an a-hole, or I could be coming off like I'm a little like a child. There's many different languages. There's moving energy, changing things within myself, and I'm seeing things for others. It's like literally, will I tell people what I'm seeing? No, because it's not a matter of like I may see it, but it doesn't matter what I see unless you see it too. Like I see things around where I'm at, and then the person that I'm around, it's like until you take that first step to do it, because it's a system that is like that bullies you to make you not want to stand up for yourself or feel like you can't stand up for yourself. Okay, and a lot of us are here to stand up for the people that cannot or are unable to because they feel like they're too weak, but you're actually not. You just got to find that inner God, because God will speak for you. God will stand up for you. Spirit will come through. It's like that. We're not going to take it. We're gonna make the shift, but take no shit in the process. This is along the lines of what I'm talking about. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Now, I'm going to share something because at Christmas time, I have a great niece, and this year she went Christmas shopping for everyone, and she picked it out herself, and her mom said like, just keep in mind it's from a 3-year-old. She was telling me something because she's a very old soul. I say she's like a little old lady. God love her. She's hyper. She asks like a lot of why when you explain something to her, because that's okay. It's a part of asking questions. And it's like her mother is doing a fantastic job. Like this is like my great nieces and nephew and stuff like that. They're all adorable and they're all very intelligent, and we don't give them the credit. And it's like, they're psychic. They're telling us all something, and a lot of people don't want to believe that. And I'm not just talking to like my family or what have you. It's everyone. And I said it like they see stuff, and we got to teach them to stand up for themselves. Okay, it's not always about saying no. It's kind of like somebody said that God never said. God always says yes. But it doesn't mean it's always yes for a good thing, because it could be yes to teach a lesson of that, maybe that like you don't know what it is that you're asking for sometimes. It's like so I find that very ironic getting this card, because for a bit now I've been wanting to share this. So first off, like I've been hearing like other card readers and what have you, and psychics and what have you, and they're saying about like people seeing a lot of birds, or birds are significant. Okay, and now that I look on it, it was very significant, because that's what my great niece gave me for Christmas. This is the Coleta. Okay, so birds are significant. Okay, and I told her that like I'm not going to put them up until you come so that we can put them up together. And then the second thing that she gave me, it was very like mature. Okay. And it was, don't wait for opportunity, create it. And for a 3-year-old child to pick something like that is like, you're beyond the years. And she was telling me something. And that's spirit working through others, and they work through our children a lot. So if you don't teach our children to like stand up for themselves and not worry about what others are going to think about the way they dress or what have you, because it's the part of they're coming into their own. And sometimes it doesn't happen until we're adults, like myself. I'm in my 40s and it took me that long to really figure it out. And I'm still figuring it out because it's always that learning curve. It's like, it's like learning to look through the eyes of the child within you again. Because that's the creative side. The child sees things that the adult mind does not see unless it remains with the imagination, with being able to see things through the child's eyes. So when we teach our children that, no, you've got to be this way, you've got to, in order to fit in, we prevent them from really standing up for themselves and standing up for the things that they really want in life. And people say, well, kids don't know what they want. Are you serious? Kids know what they want more than adults do in most cases. But do us as adults would look at that? No, because we know everything. And I'm dealing with one that like it's like, where's your freaking imagination? Where's your childlike state when you used to say when the person used to say about what they were like as a child, but then things happened and made them hard. So now they decide that they want to remain hard. And when somebody else goes to them and says something, well, they send something back as if to say, well, I'm the one that's right. Because I brought it to their attention about watching a movie called the movie Dr. Strange, okay? Because in that movie, Dr. Strange, in the beginning, it talks about spirit, the astral, and the chakras, and what have you. And that's how Dr. Strange became, or Dr. Strange, Dr. Strange, Dr. Strange, yeah. Dr. Strange became the person he was. Okay. And that is real. Magic is real. And people want to say, oh, well, you're like, oh, it will open your heart. I love watching shows and movies and what have you when it comes to magic. Like there's both sides of it. And when I look out and I watch and observe and I see people getting bullied or people are shooting each other down. And a lot of us going through this fully understand with things like that because we feel like we were left out. We feel like we didn't belong. We felt like we were the black sheep when we actually weren't the black sheep. We just didn't follow. We might have for a time until we woke up and realized like, okay, spirit's telling me something and spirit will pull you. I say about like the movie Bruce Almighty and Evan Almighty. Okay, Bruce Almighty, when he got the power, he was a real butthole because it was about self. And it was used as a manipulative, not putting any forethought into things, just what he wanted for him. And then he learned the lesson. It wasn't about what you want for yourself. Be grateful and have gratitude for what you do have. And want something for someone else, something good for someone else, is what you would want for yourself. And Bruce and Evan Almighty, okay, that one was where Evan was put in a position because he prayed to God as if to how to help, what he could do for humanity. And in that, because he was accepting spirit and accepting what he was being asked to do, he lost his job and he lost his family for a time being. And his wife told him that, like, you really need some help. It's like, no. When we when shade is thrown on people because of something you don't understand, and then when they stand up for themselves, people don't like that. It's like, hey, you don't know me. You don't know what God, source, spirit, mother, father put me here for. The same as that person doesn't know what that other person was put here for. So it's like, why should I not stand up for myself and others, knowing that the people who are throwing shade on other people or manipulating other people? Because I'm going to say it, like, okay, like, people look at me and they want to throw shade on me, and they don't like me. They throw attacks and stuff like that at me. And it could be family, it could be like so-called previous friends or what have you. People get posed, and it's like, well, okay, like, you look at me this way because you think I'm nothing and that I'm beneath you. But then if that same person that you were saying was beneath you and everything like that, if they came up and they did something great, it's like, you want back in, don't you? Because, well, they have something to offer you. But if they never gave you anything, then maybe it's like you got to look at how you're treating people. Like people say about Christ coming back. Well, Christ is back because it's the Christ consciousness, and people don't want to believe that. Like, well, that's entirely up to yourself, but I know differently because I'm experiencing it firsthand, and the same as others. I stood up for my mom. Okay, they had her doped up on all these medications. She was getting sick, and this one day she had done something. So my dad called the psychiatrist and told the psychiatrist about what was going on, what happened. Well, for the psychiatric unit, there was no beds available. Like he said, there was no beds available. So knowing what happened, I told my dad, I'm calling. He said, well, like, there's no sense of calling. They said, there's no beds. There's no beds. Yeah. So I get the number and I called him. And I told him why I was calling, what happened. He was talking and stuff like that. And I said to him, I said, I said, you get her in there now. I said, because if anything happens to her, you will be held responsible. And 5 minutes later, my dad got a call and said that a bed was available. So it's that part of standing up for others. And then we went in. I said, like, I'm coming in with you. I went in and I told them, you get her off all those medications that you have her on. Because they had her on so many medications that it was overdosing her on certain things because all these medications had the same things in them. So it was getting too much. So then it was more depression, more suppression, more, like, just more pain. See it, feel it. And it's like those people that hurt other people, And they know that they're doing it because it's all about greed and money. It's not that, like, some of them care about the people, and some of them just don't give two shits because they're seeing the dollar. That irritates me. And those are the ones that I just want to take their head and I want to shove it up their ass. And I want to take the money and shove it there too. Money can, like, money can be good if it's used properly. If you're obtaining it not because you're like greedy, standing up like and saying, you know, the greed. It's really got to stop. But someone say, "Oh well, it's my money," because I have someone that is always saying, "Well, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine." Wow, seriously? Don't you know how to share? Di chi è tutta lei? Dice che la vede su tutto it. Then we look and we wonder why our kids the way they are. They don't want to share. And then we say they're spoiled little brats. Well, if you're feeling like your kid is a spoiled little brat, why are you giving it everything that it wants instead of the things that it needs? But what do I know? I know lots. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. I said before, like it's hard to talk common sense, or it's hard to talk logic and reason, or what have you, when people don't even know common sense. And I've gone through that where I just didn't understand common sense. We've all been through it. That's what I just said. That's common sense. It's not about because you want the kid out of your hair because they keep harassing you and harassing you, so you give it to them. What you're creating. You're creating what we see. Like we say others say about like our kids like they act so privileged and what have you. It's well because if we're giving them everything that they want instead of what they need, which what they really need is love and affection in a healthy way. They look to us for guidance, but you know, I'm going to say it's like in a lot of ways we should be looking to them for guidance. But most adults don't look at it that way because then they're not always in control. Adults are of the mentality for the most part. They always got to be right, and that's the ego. I mean, not really using the ego, but it's kind of taught to us by our actions. Yesterday, I started watching the thing on fire, talking about the changes in the system. Yeah, systems are the biggest bullies. And then people are afraid to stand up to a system because they say, well, it's bigger than us. Is it really? Think of the one, say 1%. Okay, 1%ers. That's like the system. And you're 99% of people. But we're all, a lot of us right now, because we're so afraid to, because of being so afraid to stand up to something, because you can see it, but you can't see it at the same time. It seems bigger than what it actually is. It only is bigger than what it actually is because we allow it to be like that. I said yesterday, with the government, I always thought that the people were in charge in charge of the government. But right now, it seems like the government are in charge of the people, which that's not what we're supposed to be. And that's like having dominion over the person's body. Like, no, you have dominion over your own. But a system will lead you to think or feel like you don't. I have a friend that is working on like doing different Kundalini yoga and what have you, and she's going to be a great teacher. She's going to be a great guide, and she's going to be a phenomenal healer. It's seeing your own potential, but the systems don't want you to see your potential. So that's why we have to encourage each other to see our potential instead of trying to knock someone down because you're struggling to see your own, even when people are telling you your potential and how you can get to your highest potential. You want to try kicking them because they can't be right. Because we always got to be right ourselves. So we think. I do stand up for myself. And there are times like when spirit stand up with me. And there are times when it's like, rah, like you want to freaking bully? Just get the day. And that's when I feel like just ripping them a whole new arsehole. I even had the visions where I fucked them through the wall. But I don't want violence. Because violence doesn't really solve anything. It just keeps it going. And people may think, well, like they did this, they did that. Yes, okay. But how is killing them or what have you going to help them? It may seem like justice, but it's teaching them to see what it is that they've done wrong. And then they have to deal with that themselves. And I feel people angry at me right now. And that's okay. It's like we say, God of mercy. Everybody's in need of healing because of the systems over time made us hard, bitter, angry. You say the Sims, and I said it before, the Sims are systems integrated into society. And we're all here to change those systems. To change those systems from being all for one in the sense of self in that way. Into being beneficial for one as a whole. Everyone. If you look at the indigenous native community and what have you, the folklore, those were the ways. And then when it came to them trying to stand up for themselves, because they didn't want to do the new ways, because the new ways they felt were not conducive to helping people in that sense. It wasn't about being savages. It wasn't about anything like that. It was about that they had self-freedom and they were able to govern themselves. And if they did fight amongst each other sometimes, they didn't have people coming in and using tanks and guns and bombs and everything. They did the old school for the most part. They punch the shit out of each other until they get over it. And I'm not saying do that. It's like going in the ring. It's like, do you feel any better afterwards when you punch shit out of each other? Sometimes people do feel better in the results, but nobody wants to communicate words. And they just want to swing first and holler and scream at the time that they're doing it. Yep, I have. I have done the holler and scream. Not screaming on people, but because it's a part of me that's trying to wrap my head around certain things that I don't understand, that I didn't understand, of how we can be the way we are. We feel it's necessary to hurt someone, and it's never necessary to hurt someone. If you hurt somebody, it just creates more, and then it just goes back and forth. And that's when you get the karma. Karma. It's like instead of throwing shit back at someone, as much as you dislike them, you feel you hate them, or what have you, pray for them because they're a lost soul. Same about it. Same as a lot of us. In the beginning, it was taking a leap. You take a leap of faith. I am making a life for myself, creating the life for myself. When it's like you don't see it in the physical world right now, but I know it's right there. Sorry, I'm catching up. And what I want for me is what I want for everyone. But it's the thing of getting out of our own way so that we can stand up for ourselves. We can say, like, hey, I am worthy because everyone's worthy. Everyone's a chosen one. Just some accept that faster than others. I don't care what a book says. Only our people's going, or this people's going. Really? That's where I stand up to you and say, hey, get over yourself because it's not just you going. Everyone gets to go in their own time. I come to help people blossom, grow, and see their own potential and forget about what others say. It's not about getting there on the backs of somebody else. And it's not about allowing someone to push you over so they can get ahead. Right now, Spirit wants to just channel in multiple, like just come out. Siamo curiosità che totai, la curia che sai tu. Tutto riettere se tadai shadai so kuoi, e me ne tutto riesi kuri. Ti tutto riettere, e situation. Quelli me ne hanno creatori e sai so kuoi. Si tutto è sarete e sarà. Si pure sono mi chi sala chi mola e tutto fai carian. E tutto riesi tutto. Cioè sana. E kudu tu scrivere che ka. Chi tutto riettere tutto non vorrei perché scuola di sakkim ka. Perché tutto è sulle essere curia con tutto di taglio, sulle vedessero con tutto le di sue se da lasciano il saccam che non poteva fare comunque si creano pesciati, si creano scui, perché tutti i tagli su, cioè, ti chiudi, ci metti di tutto, tu yes, e mi si tutto rientro da esce, e se potete tutto perché rientra prima. Se la totrai, e non potrei adesso, ci mi chiede su cui, tutto lei dai, di quello è tutto lì, e se lei è su che tutto che ti per cui è stata dai su lui, e se non mi è stata lui, perché ho tutto un, si chiede te su cui, Toreta, Toreta, Tokrima Torita Turis, Turishala, Cinco Torita, Cleveria Torita, Torita, Toreta, e la maniera che tutto quello che se sono e se mi sereta, lei, Torita, lei che comunque lei ha lei le trio, tutto, è stata un chiamata. Si erano serie, subito tutto pulite, dai. Riuscire a salessa un sui e che poi quello tutto lei è durissima che ne ha fatte chi tutto non è che c'è la tazza sai. Sì, anch'io. Perché tu se letto tu le alcune hanno creato tai non tu se tu puoi poter lasciare verso non tu restare a tai tu sì che non c'è messa che c'è tutto in sa se tu è sarà se io scogliere e tutto secondo me creiamo tutti e essere tutto invece se lui tutto io questa sì, mi potrei dai i suoi saremo siamo dietro dieta e poi penso con su tutto so yeah yeah it's like really oh I should have said to sarei tu non mi picchito pure essa prima e tu te so ui ai yes yeah like okay yeah same right now I'm feeling going up the chakras, the crown, expanding. Like, like holy shit, man. Sometimes, like, it's because there's like blockage in spirit is moving it, and not just with me, but with others that are willing to accept it by way of having faith within yourself to know that it's for you and you are worthy of being spoken to and being connected with spirit. المشكلة secolo poi dittature all'autodesk scrisse copierai perché sorry perché non copia sa yeah it's like stay here and uh, feeling that release within yourself the expansion within yourself, becoming more one with spirit, more one with the universe, creator, source, mother, father. E tu lascia perché sa come che le tutto tutto. Oh, sweet. Okay, yep. So someone has a very hard energy right now. They're struggling. We're all struggling. Like I was gonna say, struggling with your identity. And it's like, to keep close to be someone else. Keep what I said. Dice making che poi so listening. Yes, but yeah, the way that so it was seeing exterior. You're different inside, but you're showing the facade. Creating that purpose. Con quello ancora non è poi se tutto bene, spirit to spirit, and so tu es, so tutti e tu dove lascia se shift. I just felt a release. It's like confirmation. Isolata de la cui hai. Se tu riesci a essere finding a way to love even the hardness, because that's the shadow that really has been there for a while. Getting that, like it's like I felt that. It's like I thought my lip just kind of curled up. Sometimes it's like that disdain, like how dare you? Because you wait, so it's not that I told everybody got to read for what. Okay. It's I've said it. I like I connect, and it's random, but I connect. I'm feeling up in brain. There's just thunder. Hmm. Uh, it's that frustration that the person was once very intellectual and feels that they lost that because they're struggling with you can't speak, but you can't actually speak. It's sort of just rewiring. Tipo, poi questo, questa cosa. Siamo qui a questo motore. Secret Michelle Getsui, Yetotai Palestine. Mhm. I'm getting back in my space. Secure by yourself. This stare disdain, I feel it, and I know it's there. It's to another, it's a spirit to a spirit. There was a history. Yep, get that. Complete information. It's the like seriously? It's almost like that. How mature are you? But it's just that thought quickly. Here should I simply okay. When people are around me, what you get is what you get. Because I'm that channel for spirit, as others are a channel for spirit. Se quer excluir que não tudo é suffering. Most of the time, I'd rather speak in a different language as the English, because then I know that, like, at least spirit understands me. Am I lonely? Um, not really, because I have spirit. Like it's a constant thing, so I'm never lonely. Like even just because nobody's around doesn't mean that someone's not lonely or because they're not getting out. Yes, we do have to get out and be with other people. And some would say, oh, well, it's not healthy if you're just talking to yourself all the time. I'm not just talking to myself all the time. I'm actually talking with spirit, different forms of spirit, ancestors, and what have you. I had a sister, well, not had, I have a sister that she says, like, I don't want to be like you. I don't want to be doing that. It's like, well, okay. I guess it's not for everybody. But when you're ready, you'll understand it. It's not just feeling spirit within, it's being able to feel spirit everywhere, seeing spirit within everybody, the good person and the bad parts. So we perceive them to be. È tutto dentro te. Ed è crudele essere scorruto, torbigliere. Why am I like, I know that I chose to do this, to come forward with this. And I did it for spirit. When you do something for spirit, you're doing it for everyone because everyone is spirit. So I say that I'm doing it for my family. And spirit is my family, and everyone is spirit. They're all my family, whether we're blood related or not. Say, I am you, you are me. Because it's the form of spirit, not say that physical person, but the form of spirit. So when you start standing up for yourself and realizing your own worth, believing in yourself, that's when you create good things for you. Because you start going in a mindset where it's not just all about you. It becomes about everyone as a whole. Because you get rid of that selfish behavior, you get rid of the ignorance, the greed. Because wanting to share with others is a blessing in itself. Because it's not part of the arc. Noah built the ark. It's an act of random kindness to save others and other things. My chakras are aligned most of the time, yes. When I feel like they're not aligned, where I need to move energy, like I find, like when I allow spirit, like when spirit speaks through me, it actually helps a lot because it takes that excess, stagnant energy and moves it and brings it out. And if I feel like they say for mental health, it's a chemical imbalance, well, it's actually the imbalance in the chakras. So it's aligning the chakras back up and moving the energy. Meditation and meditation, like it's just like it's just starting off and being able to be still within yourself. Okay, if you're ADHD, I know they say that's difficult. Okay, because like what you're experiencing is you're experiencing everything like so much calming in all at once. You're unable to kind of differentiate and focus on one thing because you're scatterbrained and it's being pulled, like I said before, being pulled in all different directions. So I do this because what it does is because it's like spirits, because you're a light, you're the beacon, and it's like coming home. Well, so sometimes it feels like it's all at once. So when you do this, it's like you're taking that energy and you're kind of just moving it off yourself to give yourself some breathing room. So that to me is one form of a way of just being able to meditate because you're also centered. And it's like right by the heart. Okay, so you get the together and then have it. So that's like right the heart. And the heart is the strongest energy. It emits so much. So when you say something in anger, you're putting that out there, or it's like a psychic attack on someone. It's like some say an energy ball, only it's with words. So words hurt. but words also help. And I just felt that drop in the throat. And sometimes when somebody says something like that, and if it hits you, I mean, like when somebody expresses something to help change or what have you, and it's a good thing, you feel that release because it's showing that you have something. It's usually you have something to say, or you need to feel, experience something that's within yourself. And the only way to release that sometimes is just like allowing yourself to scream, allowing yourself to cry, and not even cry in public because I'm feeling someone else's emotions. That's possibly what they're feeling within themselves because spirit's feeling it. It's not about being an atheist. It's not about being religious or what have you. It's like if you believe in science, then you can say you don't believe in God, but science and God is the same energy. You see energy, you experience energy. You're experiencing spirit, you're experiencing God, source, creator. When you allow yourself to experience that inside, you get that, it's like a sigh of relief. It's the epiphany of, oh yeah, basically. And there's an overwhelming sensation right now. See, people can do this. I just feel like they can't because like it's not about being strong enough because you are. Some of you may not want to do this, but everybody experiences it differently. I create, I guess, this way, and others create with their hands in other ways, and others create like I do. Because no matter what, we're creating out of energy. You do something great that you enjoy doing, and you see the outcome of what you've created. It gives that sensation, right? And then if somebody comes along and tries shooting it down, well, that's only because they want to create something. It's like, go create it. Don't be pissed off because somebody else did something that you're able to like do yourself. Seriously. I used to get jealous sometimes of people, but it wasn't so much of what they had in the material world. It was when you see families together and you feel divided from wrong. Some feel like they're not good enough, but we are not. We just need to see that within ourselves, that we are capable of doing great things. And I know people have self-esteem issues because I just felt that way. So go back and look at what the original seed was, the part where you didn't stand up for yourself, going back and standing up for yourself to change. yourself from within. It's like, hey, do this different. It's good to think this way. Yes. There's a lot moving right now. It's like that feeling right here. When it opens, when your chakras open, it's like that rush of energy. Have you ever gone like that and just kind of stretched, and then all of a sudden it was like whoosh, and you got a major head rush? Well, that was a Kundalini opening and releasing through. Because that's the energy that gets locked in, like gets finished, stuck, or what have you. And then when you release it, it gives that, like all of a sudden, just that click. So it goes to the brain, it goes throughout the body, and then it goes to the brain, and it's like, holy crap, I'm in for a ride. And those are like, if you experience that, you know what I'm talking about, because it's like, holy crap, my head, like I just exploded. It's like, wow, man. And sometimes it's like, get down, get down before you fall, because it's just such a rush. And sometimes it can feel painful, depending on how long it's been like that within your body, because it'll create pain throughout your body. It's just energy, and this one much is learning that too. And a lot of people are starting to learn it in different ways, all here for different purposes, like I said. And some people, when you talk about spells or crystals or anything like that, say, "Oh, that's witchcraft." No, we're energy workers, because it's all about energy and the frequencies that you have within it. So if you're feeling like you got a lot of different energies within you, and you touch certain crystals, you actually feel it will like release that. And I do that. And now I used to like kind of stop talking like in the languages, because others, well, I don't know why you talk like that, and nobody understands you. But then I realized, like, okay, suppressing me, I'm not going to be suppressed. Like, you get suppressed. I'm going to try holding spirit in. When it comes out, it comes out. And then you learn how to allow spirit to help you stand up for yourself. And when somebody is trying, you feel somebody is trying to siphon your energy, it's always usually because it's always someone that just never looks at anything good. Praise for material things opposed to being grateful for what you have, and strive. You want better, strive to receive that. Do that inner work. Stop feeling sorry for yourself, because I went through it. I felt sorry for myself. Now, if I start feeling sorry for myself, it's like, well, wait a minute. Why did that happen? And right now, it's like basically, Yeah. No. Wait a second. Situation. Like I said before, if I like don't respond to you or what have you, I'm usually kind of just off in the now, the being. So things come through. They say, "Do it." It's okay. It's a throat chakra. Nice. The guy I speak in tongues. Mm, okay. Sarcasm. Oh well. We all can be sarcastic. It's like, are you being so? It's that part of you being sarcastic to be funny, or are you being sarcastic to be a butthole? Yeah, got it. Basically. So, uh, basically. Oh, it is surgery. 3-3. 33 vertebrae. Right up into the Santa Claus. Santa Claus. Imagination. Tikieta. Creativity. Sweet. Shakaramesa. Tutuye. Clear the fog. Say hello. Hello, day. You're a new day. I'm living in the now moment, in the being. So I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. If you came in, thank you for coming in. I really appreciate you being here at least. Even if you don't like what I have to say, you're here. And even if you're throwing stuff at me or insults or what, that's okay. Because apparently you need to get that out of your system. It's not an insult. Two roads derived, can't pronounce it, derived, whatever, in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So it's not about going the same way every time, because then it's a repetitive behavior. So allowing yourself to come out of your comfort zone, doing something that you wouldn't normally do, and possibly because somebody else said that you couldn't do it. You always want to try it. Try it. Not causing harm to people, not talking about that. It's secret. So you talk to your goldfish too? Because I talk to my cat and I understand my cat fully. I used to go yesterday at that point because it's got a spirit. It's a good. So with that being said, I'm sending you all much love, light, many blessings, most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone wanting, willing to receive and accept. I want you all to be big, bold, brave. Most importantly, be yourself. Be your authentic self. Be true to yourself. true to others. Be who you are, not who somebody says you are. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and know that you have more strength and more power than you can comprehend, because the power comes within you, within spirit, within you. I love you all. Hope you're having a great weekend. Go ahead.